Tensions rise as the Hytale community searches for answers to when we'll next hear from the team. Could it be Game Fest? E3? Is beta delayed? With Pride Month in full swing, we get an incredibly diverse in-game postcard which is jam-packed full of Easter eggs and new feature reveals, new playable races for example. I also have a new piece of music for you guys to listen to, plus all the usual updates as we wave our rainbow flags this week. Welcome back to QUEQ Corner. My name is Connor, and today on Hytale News Updates, we break down and analyze a game-changing new screenshot, talk playable races, identity and customization, check out a Hytale News article, and listen to some new music before announcing competition winners and checking some community art. In June, the entire world celebrates Pride Month, and here on the QUEQ Corner channel, we're no different, because you are valid, and so is everyone else. For 2021, I really wanted to make a statement. That's why this month I've teamed up with Dairy Panda, my incredible artist, to totally transform our QUEQ.com merch into a fabulous limited edition Pride design that promotes equality across the LGBTQIA+ community, and more importantly, spreads the message that there is no rush to figure out who you are. Even in these accepting times, you should never feel pressured to be out, just as much as you should never feel pressured to stay hidden away. You're ready when you're ready. All proceeds for this design will be donated to the Trevor Project to ensure that other people struggling with their identity and sexuality get the support and guidance that they deserve. I really hope that you guys like the design. Send me a picture if you get it. Back to the video. Now, just a disclaimer, because as with every year, there's always talk about how Pride Month comes with a lot of aggressive marketing and companies changing their colours for virtue signalling. But while that's a conversation for a channel that doesn't talk games, I do think that Hytale is very suited for this kind of celebratory message. Hypixel Studios is made up of a hugely diverse team from all across the world, all walks of life, all backgrounds. It's this unity, a sense of togetherness that working in remote teams and being in online spaces has always promoted, but also an environment that Hypixel themselves have been promoting for years now on their server. There's always been a big LGBT+ presence in gaming too, but it's not always been so accepted, so visibly supported. And while Hypixel Studios is a big team now, we shouldn't forget that there's people behind this game, and the fact that Hytale, as a platform, has so much potential for awareness and acceptance. Colours go beyond words, they break language barriers, especially the ones we see during Pride Month. The team say, "We're committed to empowering players to celebrate the full spectrum of their identities and experiences through their Hytale avatars. Happy Pride from the Hytale team." Showing an image of an unspecified zone, likely a custom-built server world, we see 15, possibly 16 players, depending on if the Trork is someone or not, and they're all celebrating and running around at a festival. Just the complexity of taking this screenshot bewilders me. The postcard this week was actually a little late, and so some of us joked it could have been because they had to get the whole team on to pose. It's interesting to think how they got everyone in the right position, how they got the animations timed right, the mobs in place. Perhaps this could have been taken in some sort of modeling or animation/framing tool, similar to how a replay mods in Minecraft or Fortnite. Perhaps with a free roam camera you could go around plonking down your own characters and mobs, posing them to your own liking. It's hard to tell with this one whether it's a result of tools or in-game, because otherwise to me it looks like a multiplayer server. Again, a lot of breakdown here, so let's go from left to right. First off, we see this Gaia statue with a rainbow pride scarf. I wonder if we'll actually be able to decorate these statues or if it's a custom-made asset for this shot. Maybe it's based on the date, meaning in-game time. The texture could change during the month of Pride itself. Next to this, we also see the trans flag colors. Trans rights are humans' rights, of course, and there's even a non-binary set of colors further along the wall. And right to the left, we even have some banners pointing out the bisexual flag colors. Back towards the fountain, we see a player potentially crouching down as they wear a bronze or copper set of armor. If this person isn't crouching, this could point to there being a smaller set of humanoids, maybe even dwarves in the world. But I'm not gonna get ahead on this one. I think because the player is jumping in the next spot, it just makes this guy look smaller. Again, as mentioned, he may also just be crouching. I love the color on this red jumper jacket here. There's a cute doggo. We see a ginger-haired team member running to check some of the foliage and flowers, and speaking of which, there's even a pigeon amongst the bunch. Haha, silly pigeon, you're not a plant. This flying creature appears to be a parrot, which we've seen once before in the trailer. It seems to be accompanying a swashbuckling pirateer with green hair and an adventurer's shirt. To their side, we get a glimpse at a potential new race. This green-skinned character looks very similar to the classic orc or ogre of fantasy old. It also kinda just looks like a green guy, so is this a human or not? Behind him we see another new potential type of playable race. These seem to be some sort of elf or goblin mix. They remind me of the animated trolls, if I'm honest. I'm sure they will have a proper name, but their ears are spiked and jut upwards. Their skin tones also seem to be very vibrant, which is fitting of Pride. There's one here by the Trork, one stroking the cat, and another dancing in the background. Last but not least, for new potential races, that's right, we have potentially 3 new races in this image. Take a look at this horned person right here. You can see the skin overlapping onto the horn here, so I think these ones are actually biological, part of the character's anatomy. This could mean that character customization is very varied, allowing you to mix and match an abundance of body features to create a wholly original identity. Or it may be more simple than that. We may choose from a few pre-selected options, perhaps body types or defined races, maybe the ones that already exist in the lore that we'll meet in-game. I don't think we've seen any red or blue-skinned humans yet, so those shades and tones may be off limits for them, reserved for different races. Going back to the details now, there's a cute little rainbow unicorn on this tee. As mentioned earlier, we have a Trork standing around, although it's unknown if that's a player or not. A white scarfed character stands in the background with a QUEQ plushie, and right by these 2 dancing team members, we get a glimpse at a Hytale arrow sign. I wonder what it's pointing to, maybe the beta. Some have mentioned that this person right here could be doing the Gangnam Style, whereas Buddha appears to be doing that leg thing from Fortnite that people do. This Hypixel team member is getting a stroke of a rather large cat, potentially just a perspective thing, and last but not least, this final person stands atop the wall in lovely colours, might I add. Now, there are a few interesting tidbits to point out here that still haven't been mentioned. What is this orb in Gaia's hand? Also, notice these very faint colours on the floor? That appears to be tinted stone, coloured by some kind of chalk, I guess. Then up at the top, of course, we have a full spectrum Pride banner, including POC colours, and some strange beady looking white blocks stick out from behind the banner itself. I wonder what these are. Maybe a decoration? Maybe you can dye them? I think the use of tarp, flag, or whatever this material will be called in the game is done to great effect in this image, showing all the colours you can attain and ways to display them. Also showing just how varied character customization will be in-game as well. I know that people sometimes meme about breaking postcards down for 10 minutes, but I feel this one was worth it. A Redditor by the name of Red Flags appears to have found a new set of subdomains for the Hytale website, 7 to be exact. I think it's just standard now for everyone to be analysing and keeping watch over these sites. The fact that the team haven't mentioned anything as well makes me feel they're completely okay with it. Some have suggested this could mean the team are prepping for a coming reveal, perhaps at an event or festival, but others say that it could just be standard work and maintenance being performed by the service ops. And to be honest, I'm kinda torn on this one. They're definitely preparing something, but it could just be something that they're preparing for in the long run rather than something right around the corner. Speaking of which, that reminds me that I wanted to set a reasonable expectation about events like E3 and Game Fest. While I myself love to get excited about events, theorize and speculate all the cool titles that could be coming, I know a lot of you don't. You're here for the facts. And to be honest, there's no factual evidence suggesting Hytale will be shown at Game Fest at all, or anywhere for that matter. Just a lot of coincidental evidence and a bit of odd timing. Riot appearing at Game Fest is really exciting for sure, but we've seen nothing from the team confirming that Hytale will be there, and they did say they'd warn us when something was coming, not to read between the lines. That isn't to say that we're being impatient though. 6 months is a long time to wait for the conversation to continue, and I personally am very interested in what the broader gaming industry and all the other teams will be advertising this year. I always am. I love games after all, so yes, I'll be streaming my reactions and thoughts on the Summer Game Fest, but please don't expect anything Hytale related. This is just people getting together to get excited about cool looking games. If it did appear, you'd certainly hear about it quickly anyways. You can join me on Thursday if you're excited for the festival as a whole, and while, you know, they say don't read into signs, but have you ever considered how the upcoming event is called the Summer Game Fest, aka Festival, and in the last postcard, all the characters kind of looked like they were having a festival in the summer? I'll stop. I'll stop. A recent news article by the Belfast Telegraph was posted online featuring quotes from Noxie and Sean of Hypixel Studios. It tells the story of the company, not mentioning anything that we don't already know, sadly. They expressed once again just how overwhelmed the team were with the trailer's performance and community response, and further elaborates on the studio's charitable activities as it supports Derry and the local community. Riot would have loved for us to end up in Santa Monica or downtown LA, Sean said, but myself and Aaron wanted to stay here because this is the place I was born and bred. The talent is here. Derry is home for me. The plans are nothing short of world domination, he followed. We're pushing into full production and things are looking better than ever. We don't know when exactly these quotes were taken, but full production certainly does sound promising. Speaking of sound, let's get to that new music that I mentioned. This month I partnered with Slammer to create a brand new instrumental, sort of like a theme for this channel. We worked hard on making it sound really relatable to the channel and to give off a vibe of playfulness and adventure. I'll let you guys listen to it as I announce competition winners. You'll be able to hear the full, uninterrupted piece on Slammer's channel, so make sure to subscribe. The winners of the most recent art competition, where you had to recreate a postcard or in-game screenshot, are as follows. I'll be sure to contact you all via Discord or Twitter for you to collect your prizes. Next up, the winners of the creative writing competition, where you had to write a short story about your first day in Hytale. The winners for that are as follows. Please look out for a DM on Discord with info on how to collect your prizes, and thank you everyone for participating. Both of these competitions were so much fun to go through, and I'll be sending all of the entries directly to the Hytale team to read themselves. The fan art never stops, and as usual, you can find all of these very talented people over at their Twitter handle displayed in the corner. Remember to use hashtag HytaleFanArt to post your own piece, and follow these great artists for more. Remember to check out the Pride merch at QUEQ.com. Continue smiling, thank you for liking, subscribing, and thanks, as always, for watching Quebec Corner. Stay safe and keep free.